All right, so these books are they're really not in a good order, but it is what it is. All right. So first of all, my local LCS, all right, so these books are in no particular order. Uh, it's a bit of a mess. I'm surrounded by books right now, but so let's start off with my LCS. My go-to place was having a sale this weekend, so I head over there and was able to get a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 700. I'm looking to collect all the variants. I got this book at $15. I thought that was a good deal. It's pretty much what I see a lot of people are selling it for, and I feel comfortable with that price. So while I was there, I also found a copy of The Dirty Pair. Not the variant, not the rare variant, but I'm still on the hunt for that one, and eventually I will find it. So I was able to get that. Found a copy of Ex Machina, issue number one by Brian K. Vaughan. Big Brian K. Vaughan fan, so I was happy to get this book. Um, I don't think they realized they had that book on in their boxes, but was also able to get a copy of The Goon, One for the Road. Uh, all these books, I got them at 35% off, so very happy about that. Now, funny enough, while I'm at the shop, I got a text from my boy Xavier, and he told me about a sale that was going on, right? So I've been to this place before. This is actually where I found my 25-cent uh, book that I submitted to CGC. So um, for that, he actually told me to keep an eye out for this book. And he was there, I believe, the day before, and it slipped him, and I found it. So he and I are going to do a little trade. It's a beautiful book. I'm happy I was able to find it for him. We have a little trade set up, so I definitely keep an eye out for things if somebody's looking for them, and I'll keep that in mind. So I'm happy I was able to get this for the homie. So there's that. So let's see, in no particular order, right? But a bit of an order too at the same time. Found a copy of Wonder Man, issue number one, newsstand. Cyclops and Phoenix, issue number one, direct edition. Marvel Mangaverse. I'm a manga guy, so I was very happy to see this, and I wish they would have had more. I would have taken them all. Found a copy of Wolverine 76, Gambit number one. I'm not sure what volume this is from, but it's a very nice cover. All New Spider-Man, issue number 6. All right. Ultimate. All right. Ultimate Daredevil and Elektra, issue number 1. Let's see. Found issue number 2. And unfortunately, that's all they had, so too bad. Did find Dark Reign Elektra 205. Beautiful cover. They did not have the other ones, unfortunately. Found a copy of New Avengers 27. And, I was keeping an eye out for this book for a while. I'm just happy to find it at 25 cents. So I was very happy about that. Found a copy of Doctor Strange, The Oath, issue number 1, the variant cover. And this is also a book by Brian K. Vaughan. So that was just icing on the cake. Again, 25 cents for these books. So I think those are the most memorable Marvel books I picked up. I picked up a lot more books that I'm about to show you guys, but I figured I'd show you the ones that I was really excited about. So I picked up an issue from Valiant, Zero Punk Mambo, and I'm trying to expand from just looking at Image and Black Mask, and kind of see what's out there. And Valiant is a publisher I don't have any issues from, so I figured that was a good purchase. Found a copy of Veil number 1 by Greg Rucka. He's also the guy that wrote Lazarus, so I'm a fan of his. Supreme Blue Rose, Warren Ellis, issue number 1. Wayward, issue number 1. I think this is cover E or F. I'm trying to get all the variant covers for issue number 1. I'm a big fan of that book. Battle Pope by Robert Kirkman. And they did not have 1, 2, so I found 2 copies of 3. So I took them, and they had a copy of issue number 5. And when he's not leading mass, he's out kicking ass. I mean, that's dope, right? So I was happy to see that. Let's see. Speaking of Kirkman, found a copy of The Infinite, issue number 1. Found a copy of Madame Mirage, number 1. Don't know anything about this book. I thought the cover was really awesome. I thought that the detail on the gun was pretty dope. She's beautiful. Artwork is just gorgeous. So, and it's a Top Cow Image book. Why not? I mean, I'll always pick up a issue number 1 of any Image book, and it is a newsstand. Also found some Gen 23 goodness. So they had issues 7 and 8. So 2 issues for 25 cents. I haven't rebacked these books yet, so I needed to go ahead and do that. Found 2 copies of Shy number 2. Let's see what else. What else? And I'm trying to go a little fast. I don't want to keep you guys from whatever it is you got to be doing right now. Just appreciate you guys coming through to check out all my little findings, Shy Pandora's Box, issue number 1. The Senryaku series, issue number 1, 2 copies of that, and a copy of issue number 2. They didn't have any of the other issues, and I think this is a short run too, so that would have been cool to get all of them. But I'll keep an eye out for that. Let's see, some Cyberforce and X-Men number 1. I think this is a one-shot. It's pretty cool. Happy to see that. Trinity, Blood on the Sands. Don't know much about this book. It's issue number 1, newsstand. And if I'm not incorrect, Comics and Stuff was discussing Image newsstand books Saturday, I want to say. And I don't know, it kind of stuck in my head. So when I was there looking for books, I was like, yeah, you know what? They have a handful of them, so I picked them up. Non-player, issue number 1. This is a very short run, so short. There's only 2 issues, and I think it took him, Nate Simpson. I think it took him 2 years to release issue number 2, and that was it. There's never been an issue 3. It was optioned for a movie. I'm not sure why, because there's really not a whole lot written to it. But the print run did well because they have 4 printings for issue number 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, and the 4th I just found this weekend. So I was happy about that. Team 7, issue number 1 from Image Comics. All right. Image United, found issue 0, 1, and 2. All in excellent condition. Found a copy of The Beauty number 2. This is, I think, cover B. Low by Rick Remender, issue number 2. And another copy of Witches, issue number 1, which I keep finding this book at dollar bins, and in this case, 25-cent bins. But it's a pretty good book to have. If you don't have it in your collection and you find it, especially at a dollar, I'd say pick it up. I have a theory that book's going to blow up at some point in time. Let's see. Found Dark Horse Presents number 134, has Dirty Pair, but I actually bought it for the fall, the Ed Brubaker story at the bottom, so that was cool. Omega Man versus the New Teen Titans. Thought that was nice. I'm a big Teen Titan fan. Justice League of America annual number 1, newsstand. And when I saw this book, I thought about sticking Near Mint Comics because I know this dude likes his hot women, so I was like, yeah, that's a nice cover right there. It is pretty sexy. Found another Valiant issue. This is issue 0 of Unity. Don't know anything about this, but now that I have it, I'll flip through it. Hopefully I can get the trades and see what the deal is. That's usually how I find good stories, by the way. Is I pick up the first issue, give it a shot, and then see what happens. So some more newsstand Image books. Cyberforce 0. I'm not sure what volume that is. Cyberforce 16. 17, let's see, 18, 21. And I knew about this book, but I've never seen it. And when I saw it, I was like, I gotta get it. I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. So Nine Rings of the Wu-Tang. Um, I flipped through it. It looks interesting, but we'll see. I'm actually going to read it. Um, and then I also found a copy of the Max #3 newsstand as well. So that was a treat. Now these are new releases from last Wednesday. Um, I picked up Ice Cream Man issue #2. This thing sold out fast. I read this book and it was actually a pretty interesting story. Um, we'll see what #3 does because I mean I think a lot of people bought it for the hype, but not really to read it. Um, it's kind of like Tales from the Crypt ish, if you will. So my local shop had this book at $30 the day of release, right? And I wasn't willing to pay $30. So I went to another place. I was looking for a totally different book. And this place actually had several copies at cover price. So I ended up buying the 3 copies they had. I gave one to my boys, so I'm keeping the other 2. And then I bought the other variants that they had available as well. All cover price. You know, I wasn't going to pay more than cover price for these books. I mean, they're nice and all, but I don't know. I wanted to save up for something else. And I mean, the story's written by Donny Cates. If you're not aware, I'm a big fan of his. So this is definitely getting this is in my pool now, my pool list. So those are the books that I felt were the most memorable, or the books that I really wanted to share with you guys from this weekend, and obviously some from last Wednesday. But give me 1 second, and I'm gonna show you guys 2 books that just came into my collection that I'm really, really, really excited to get. All right, so first of all, I went to a con not too long ago. I had the opportunity to meet Ryan Otley. Uh, let's see, Ryan Steckman, Tony Moore. And I got a signature by Ryan Otley, and he's the artist that did the work on Invincible. So I'm a big fan of his. But he also did a variant cover for issue 150 of The Walking Dead. And I actually like it like this. Instead, I should have gotten him to sign it differently. But, you know, it is what it is. I think it's a really cool cover. It is graphic, but it's very detailed, and I like it a lot. So I was very happy to get his signature on this book. And I sent it out with the fast track. So it came back in 15 days and came back at a 9.8. So I'm very happy about that. So CGC's been good to me. But out of all these things that I'm showing you guys, the one book that I'm really, really excited about is I finally got a copy of Saga #1. I got it at a 9.8. And this book, along with Why the Last Man and a couple other books that I have, to me are just personal keys, personal grails. These books are awesome. This story is incredible. So I was just so happy. I bought it under market value. I got it at a great price. The seller got a good deal. I got a good deal. Everybody's happy. I'm really happy. This book's going on the wall with the rest of the books that I luckily my wife lets me put my books on the wall in the hallway. So yeah, that's where that book's going, and I'm very happy about this book. Out of all the books that I have, there's 5, and this is top 5 books, and this is one of them. So that's about it, guys. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate everybody who's watching the videos. If you have comments, go ahead and leave them. If not, that's cool too. No sweat, no pressure. I appreciate watching all of the content you guys are putting out there. Yeah, thanks, guys. That's all I have. So till next time, peace.